In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple tips to get rid of that stubborn visceral belly fat, even with a busy work schedule. Because this is the most dangerous fat in your body, and most people don't even know they have it. I'm not talking about the fat that you can see in the mirror. I'm talking about the fat deep inside your abdomen, grab around your organs, slowly increasing your risk of heart disease, metabolic issues, and even early death. And here's the scary part. You can look completely normal, not overweight, and still have dangerous levels of this fat. If you are a busy professional, eating on the go, making quick food decisions, dealing with stress daily, this becomes even more likely. But here's the catch. Most fat loss advice completely ignores this type of fat, and that's exactly why people stay stuck. I'm Sebastian, coach and founder of Koi Movement, and my mission is to help busy professionals over 30 years old unlock their full potential by losing weight, breaking all in bad habits, and getting back their energy. So first, what is visceral fat? Think of your body like this. You have fat under your skin. That's the one that you can grab. But visceral fat? That's the fat hiding underneath, surrounding your liver, your intestines, and your organs. And this is where it gets dangerous, because this fat is metabolically active, meaning it doesn't just sit there. It actively interferes with your hormones, your insulin sensitive, and your overall health. Now, here's the problem for busy professionals. You are not gaining this fat because you're lazy. You are making fast food decisions. You are eating under stress, and you're relying on convenience. Those small decisions start compounding. Now most people think, I just need to eat less and go to the gym. Sounds good, right? Not quite. Because here's what most people don't realize. Not all calories affect your body the same way. The truth is, you are not just eating calories. You are eating signals that tells your body where to store fat. Let's start with the first one. The type of sugars you eat. There are 2 main types, glucose and fructose. And here's where it gets interesting. In a controlled study, participants drank beverages with the same calories. One group had glucose, the other had fructose. After just a few weeks, the fructose group had a significant increase in visceral fat and worse insulin sensitive. This matters, but here's the problem. If you are busy, you are surrounded by this stuff. Quick snacks, healthy yogurts, granola bars, coffee drinks, and sauces. So, what do? Because you are not just eating sugar. You're eating hidden sugar without even realizing it. Here's what no one tells you. The issue is not just sugar itself. It's how easy it is to overconsume it without noticing. They're loaded with hidden sugar and saturated fats. You don't sit down and eat 10 spoons of sugar, but you might have a flavored yogurt, a granola bar, a coffee drink, and suddenly you've had 40 to 60 grams of added sugar. And this is where it gets dangerous, because a lot of this sugar comes from things like high fructose corn syrup, which is extremely cheap and shows up in places you don't expect, as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and energy drinks. So you are not making a bad decision. You are just operating in an environment designed to make you overconsume. So let's make this clear. You don't need to eliminate sugar. You need to control the source and the context. Now let's make this practical. Instead of saying cut sugar, follow the next 3 rules. Rule number 1, don't drink your sugar. Soda, juice, sweetened coffee, healthy smoothies. This doesn't fill you up. The better version, soda, sparkling water, or zero sugar drinks. When you have a juice, go for a whole fruit. In sweet coffee, a better option, a coffee with milk or a low sugar option. Rule number 2, upgrade, not eliminate your snacks. You don't need to stop eating snacks. You need to stop eating pure sugar snacks. Replace with protein bars, low sugar, Greek yogurt, fruit and protein. Rule number 3, be aware of the invisible sugar, because it's hiding in the coffee that you usually drink, with the ketchup, the barbecue, and also the cereal that we normally eat at breakfast. It's destructive because we can track the amount of sugar we eat. Now, that alone will already reduce a huge amount of visceral fat risk. But here's the catch. Even if you fix sugar, there's another hidden factors that can push fat directly into your abdomen. Let's talk about fats, because this is where most people get confused. The issue is not eating fat. The issue is which fats dominate your diet. And again, this is happening without you noticing. There was a study where people ate the same number of calories, but one group consumed more saturated fats, and the other consumed more polyunsaturated fats. Same calories, same weight gain. The group eating more saturated fats, they gain significantly more visceral fat. And this is exactly where most people get it wrong. They focus on calories, but they ignore the food quality. Here's where saturated fat quietly adds up. Fatty cuts of beef, ground beef high fat percentage, processed meats as bacon, sausage, butter and cooking fats, cheese heavy meals and fast food. Here's the problem for busy professionals. These are the default convenient options. So instead of saying avoid this, first change your default protein, ribeye, steak, fatty ground beef, sausage, go for chicken breast and chicken thighs, lean ground beef, 90 to 95% lean, turkey and fish. Second, upgrade your cooking fats. No butter, lard, coconut oil in high use, and start to use more healthy options like olive oil and avocado oil. And third, reduce frequency. This is important psychologically. You don't need to stop eating a steak. Just go from every day to 2 days per week. That alone create a massive shift. Instead of only removing, add more fatty fish like salmon and sardines, nuts and seeds, and olive oil. This naturally balances your fat intake. So again, this is not about perfection. It's about awareness and small upgrades. Because when you stop drinking sugar, upgrade your snacks, and improve your fat sources, you reduce the exact signals that drive visceral fat. But here's the catch. Even if you fix sugar and improve your fat sources, you can still struggle to lose visceral fat. And this is where most busy professionals get stuck. Because when you're busy and hungry, you don't think, you just grab what's available. And most of the time, that means low protein, high sugar, and easy calories. So here is the key insight. Protein is not just nutrient, it's your control system. To stay full longer, avoid energy crashes, and naturally reduce overeating. And most importantly, it makes fat loss automatic, no forced. So instead of overcomplicating everything, every meal starts with protein. Not perfect meals, just protein first decisions. But let me show you how you can go from a bad day to a good day, just changing and taking better decisions in each principal meal making. If you are a busy professional and want to drop out 8 pounds in the next 4 weeks, eliminate that stubborn visceral fat without a gym or counting calories, I will coach you through my entire free, fully supported system. Link below, breakfast. Let's start with the hardest one, because most busy professionals either skip breakfast or go high sugar. The option, fast and simple, the whole eggs and egg whites, because the whole eggs have nutrients and fats, and the egg whites, they are pure protein. The option when you have no time at all, the Greek yogurt because it's high protein, and a protein shake. And when you are on the go, protein bar with low sugar and coffee with no added sugar. This alone can change your entire day, because you are not starting with a sugar spike. Lunch and dinner, keep it simple. Now here's where most people overcomplicate things. You don't need fancy meals. You need better protein choices. Lean protein options, the go-to list. Start rotating this. The chicken breast, very high protein, low fat, lean ground beef, 90 to 95% lean, turkey, eggs and egg whites. The fish, highly underrated, mahi-mahi, tilapia, cod, and for the healthy fats, salmon and sardines. This is critical, because most people snack on pure sugar. Typical ice cream, cookies, candy. Replace with protein bars, Greek yogurt, beef jerky, and protein shake. This is not about being perfect. It's about creating a default system. When you're busy, you go protein first. When you don't know what to eat, protein first, automatic, not forced. And over time, that alone reduces overeating, stabilize your energy, and create the conditions to burn visceral fat. What if I tell you that eating healthy isn't enough to eliminate visceral belly fat if you are under constantly stress due to work? Now let's talk about exercise, because this is where most people either overdo it or avoid it completely. You're probably heard, just spend more time in the gym, but if you are busy, that's not realistic. And here's the truth, you don't need more time, you need more effective effort. And let's clear this up, you cannot target belly fat directly, but you can target the system that burns it. When you do long, slow workouts, you burn some calories. That's fine. But when you do interval training, you create a much higher demand on your body. Your body needs more energy. Your metabolism stays elevated even after you stop, because visceral fat is highly responsive to this kind of stress. And the best part, you don't need 1 hour workouts. You don't need a gym. And you don't need perfect conditions. You can do this at home, in the park, while traveling, even in a small space. Here's exactly what to do. 2 times per week, each round 60 seconds easy and 30 seconds high effort, 6 rounds total. This should take you less than 15 minutes, but the intensity is what makes it work. Now let's make this practical, because most people hear interval training and think it's complicated. It's not. At home with no equipment, 60 seconds light jogging in place and 30 seconds jumping jacks with high effort. Outdoors, simple and effective, walking version, 60 seconds normal walking and 30 seconds power walking, fast with a strong arm movement. With equipment, if available, you can use your bike, 60 second easy pace and 30 second with a sprint. Same applies to elliptical, even with a row machine. And here's the good news, you only need to do this twice per week, because your body needs time to recover from that intensity, and that's perfect for a busy schedule. So again, this is not about doing more, it's about doing what actually works, because when you combine better nutrition signals, protein-based structure, and short, intense workouts, that's when your body starts burning visceral fat effectively. If you want to start simple, just do 1 session this week, at home, no equipment, and less than 15 minutes. Now, let's connect everything, because this is where most people fail. If you only fix your food, you slow the problem. If you only train, you are missing the foundation. But when you combine all three, better food, protein structure, and efficient training, that's when your body starts to shift. And here's the good news. Visceral fat is usually first fat your body burns when you create the right conditions, which means you can start seeing and feeling changes faster than you think. Now, here's what's crazy. Calories might not even be that different, but the signals you send to your body are completely different. Less fat stored around your organs, better energy, less sugar, more control, and over time, that's what reduces visceral fat.